In some ways I'm kind of a skeptic, but in other ways it's something that's really interesting.
It's the whole Halloween time and, you know, ghosts and goblins and all of that. But I think either thinking you've experienced something or knowing you have definitely sparks the curiosity.
Ghosts, spirits, poltergeists, skeptic or not, everyone has a sense of intrigue regarding the paranormal. For most of us, such curiosity is pushed aside in favor of less frightening subjects. But for Tiffany Jorgensen, even fear isn't enough to quell her search for the unexplained. Tonight, at the University of Utah, Tiffany is on a hunt for the invisible and unheard, delving into otherworldly realms. But instead of doing it by herself, she's taking her journey into the unknown with an entire class.
Tonight, I am one of the instructors of our ghost hunting class, and I've been instructing now for about almost 3 years. I don't know that there really are experts. I think what it really is based on is your experience, and I've had years of experience. You just take your recorder and you ask questions in the recorder. You take pictures all around and try to capture some type of phenomena on your digital camera and your tape recorder to see if there is anything on the other side, to capture any entities that might be around.
They told us about the different types of haunting, the traditional haunting, the residual haunting, and the other one that they talked about was poltergeist.
There's us, and then there's what we call spirits or balls of energy. And with the energy, we can't hear them or see them with a naked eye or a naked ear. But there is a mechanism inside a camera or a tape recorder that can kind of be on the same frequency as whatever this energy is, and that's how they come through.
Today we walked around and we investigated the annex building with cameras and handheld tape recorders to capture EVPs, if possible.
It stands for electronic voice phenomenon. It's just recording while you're out in the field and then taking it back and playing it on the computer and listening to see if there are voices.
It would be really hard to review your EVP and have a conversation with an entity that you can't readily see, but you may ask a question such as, where are you from? And they may answer back, yes, blue, banana, just something very random, but that is their form of communicating. They may not be able to communicate. We actually let them listen to some EVPs that we've gotten over the years that we have not necessarily proved, because this is really hard to prove anything that you get through ghost investigating, but things that we feel are legitimate.
Sponsored by the university's continuing education program, the ghost hunting class, as it's dubbed, takes students or anyone who wants to enroll on a trip into some of the most haunted locales in the city. For some, past experience has brought them into the course.
The house I grew up in was somewhat haunted. You would feel a presence down in the basement, especially if you're in the home alone. We also saw a young boy. I did. Of course, you know, now that I'm grown up, I don't know whether it's a childhood memory or it's something that really happened. It's hard to say.
I lived in a house across the street from LDS Hospital. There was definitely a guy in that basement that didn't think much of anybody living in his house.
My dogs would go crazy and they would bark. I would go up to my bedroom to go to bed, and I wouldn't even want to walk up the stairs.
After discussing how to go about recording and photographing potential spooks, the students set out exploring and enjoying a very unique way to experience the outdoors. Today, it's a local building or park. Next week, a haunted rail yard. And after that, they will have the experience and the know-how to investigate locations around the globe to find what could be the voices and images of the deceased. Some will search in eerie basements, while others will take a more unorthodox path into the trails of the West.
I think it'll just be interesting to go there and see what's there. It's impossible to really know what you're going to find there, if anything at all. So
You can do an investigation very easily. I know a lot of people don't have, a school to fund an investigation, but you can do it with a really small startup kit of just a handheld tape recorder and a digital camera, or even a still shot camera or a fun saver camera if that's all you have, and you pick a place that you think might possibly be haunted or some place that you feel uneasy about. It's fun and anybody can do it.
Looking for ghosts may seem strange to some, but the unknown is definitely worth exploring, even if it takes you into the dark. From the landscapes of the paranormal, I'm Joe Lee.